Been too long. My goodness. Cannot believe that I was gone that long. I feel like it's been way too long since I've seen you guys. So yeah, uh, you know, just back, return to the Mac. It is what it is, what it isn't. But yeah, man, I'm excited to just kind of hang out with you guys again. Should be back to the usual schedule of Tuesday or Monday to Friday, 2:30, 3:30 of Central Standard Time. So I am very glad to be back. Just hanging out with you guys. So yeah, man. I mean, gosh, I've been gone 2 weeks. It felt like the fastest, but yet the longest, like 2 weeks ever. So I'm very glad to. I need to throw like a thing up here on my like thing that says I'm back. Let's go. Let's get it. But definitely excited to be back here hanging out with you guys. So fill up the chat. Let me know what you've been up to for real. Um, Goodness gracious, that's kind of the whole point, right? Just hang out, chill. Um, but yeah, guys, it's been 2 weeks. I'm back. I'm sorry for leaving you. I missed you guys. Nothing but love. But here I am, dude. I'd say I've been busy, but like that would be like the understatement of a lifetime. So I'll get into all that here in a minute. See kind of who shows up to hang out. Like I said, I missed you guys totally, 100% full missing you guys. So yeah, man, just really glad to be back and just get to chill with you guys. But yeah, anybody check out the, or at least I did check out the Fortnite event this afternoon. Seemed like they made some gaming changes there. So we'll see. I kind of watched a little bit to kind of see what they were. I guess the storm is now water. So there's that. We'll see. I'm gonna say I'm back. Sorry for leaving. There's something up here. All right, that's terrible font though. Let's fix this. Let's go something. Nope. Nope. Oh, that's all we got. Yikes! I don't know what's. Let's Can we do something cute? That doesn't look very cute. Sorry for leaving you guys though. For real though. Like I ain't even playing. But it's all good. I'm here now. Daddy's home. Monk Magnus, what is up, my guy? How are you? Fine, sir. Yeah, dude. I took Monk. I took two weeks off from the streaming gig, man. I feel like I don't know. I feel lonely. I feel like I missed everybody. We had a regular schedule for a couple months going on. It was all good, man. It was all good. I got some emotes. Had some new channel work done. You're gonna miss a lot of people like that. I am. I didn't listen. It was I work, man. Took me out. Took me out. I worked 2 weeks. I got to figure out. I actually probably need to get started when head back to not just summer work, but like work. I need to figure out a new time schedule. I had other issues too. Like on my work trip, I had to take a lot of tech with me. That So even when I was back, the tech was still away, so I couldn't even do any of the streaming that I would normally do because like it was a remote video conference, but yet I still had to be a place for it, so I still wasn't like here. And even if I was here where I streamed from, I still wouldn't be able to. Like I was live streaming anyway, like video conferencing basically, so I wouldn't have been able to stream anyway during the time normally. So I could have been streaming in the evenings, I guess. Yeah, the halfway method, exactly right. Like, so we actually can't have you come. I was supposed to be in Kansas City, Missouri, is where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be there for 16 days. I don't know. So I got to be not in Kansas City, but I was also not home. So meh, didn't quite really know what to do. But yeah, I'm hoping we can get some of the uses back in the chat. We'll see. Miss everybody. But no, yeah. So it was unfortunate because I had all my tech to do all my video conferencing away, and then yeah, even when I got to come home and be at my own PC, I didn't have any of the tech, so it didn't. Even if because I thought I was like, oh, I needed to be at least doing some gaming streams because I'm gonna be missing the AMAs, blah blah blah. But yeah, it just I didn't have the tech. Can't do if you ain't got it, right? Like I'm gonna play. I feel like I need to wear red or whatever we're calling purple, magenta more. Do the green screen works really well, and I probably should know that because aren't like I guess red and green aren't those like complementary colors? How's that work? What's the color wheel look like? Are red and green opposite on the color? I guess they are. Yeah, they are on the color wheel. Why did I not realize that I should be wearing more color wheel opposite colors? That would explain why like blues don't turn out well when I wore blue. Neither did like the yellow on my headset doesn't work sometimes. And I guess that's because that's closer to green. So I should be wearing more like purples and reds and oranges. Gosh, big brain here. Took me that long to figure that out. But yeah, dude, calibrating the green screen today was super simple. Probably because I'm wearing a magenta Nike one. But you had to spend the extra 2 hours travel time to visit the office for a single. Oh, they couldn't push that out. Why couldn't they just push out? And I guess my work doesn't push out updates. We have to do them in person. I don't know. I'm hoping I get a new computer. My work rig had to be done via their internet. Gotcha. I think that's how it works for ours at work. I believe that has to be. Now that you said that, I think we have to be on our intranet as well in order to get anything pushed across. But I guess that makes sense. Probably more like security thing, especially when you're pushing that big of an update, right? You can't have. Uh, I don't know. Do you hack that? Does it make it more secure? I guess it does because you're not going through somebody else's portal. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Where's my cybersecurity guys at? Where are they in the chat? I got a couple guys in the chat actually that usually do bring out some of the cybersecurity. I'm trying to think who it is now. Like scrolling through the follower list here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Dude, I think my mouse is messed up too though. Like I'm having some issues with like soft clicks. It's been a little weird. It hasn't been I don't know. I feel like I gotta press harder. I don't know. I have a Corsair M65. I, Monk, I believe you used to have one of those as well. I have the newer version of it. It's worked great, but left click is getting a little sketchy, which is probably under warranty. I haven't had it long enough for it to not be under warranty. I just don't remember where I bought it. Best Buy, Newegg, Amazon, Amazon. It's probably Amazon. Probably need to look that up. Just check out the old Corsair warranty. But I did get the M95. I don't know. I guess I showed. I think I showed that on chat. The new M95, if I do recall. But it's been pretty slick. It's a little touchy from time to time. I find myself hitting. Gosh, what button is it? The Z button, maybe. A little too often when I'm gaming. But I haven't done a ton of gaming because I ain't been here. I'm sorry. But I probably need to play some Fortnite tonight since the new update just dropped. There was a new Call of Duty update, a new Warzone that just dropped. Although that hasn't been too fun. I do got a couple other things planned for stream. I'm playing in a Rocket League, so we'll be streaming those. So yeah, we've got lots of content coming here. See if I can get the new. I got a keyboard cam. But I haven't got it totally perfect yet. We shall see. What's the new Fortnite update? So I haven't seen it too terribly much, but I guess they're trying to go back to what they did in Chapter 1. Not Season 1, but Chapter 1, where they're like weaving in a storyline. So there's now like this complex storyline, which I guess maybe has been happening. I don't know. If there has been one, it hasn't been good enough for me to follow it. Although I still like to play the game. But I guess they're trying to weave in a new storyline. So the storm is now water. So like instead of it being a storm that closes in on you, it's like this massive tidal wall tsunami. And they did some like almost like old school Assassin's Creed flashbacks. Or maybe not flashbacks, but like almost like breaking the third wall, like or like maybe the character you play is a real person. I don't know. They didn't really. They just kind of teased a whole bunch. They didn't really. Let's see if I can get the keyboard. Hey, there's the keyboard cam up and running. Hey, there we go. So there she is. There she is. So we can get the keys hammering away. Only issue is I can't get the green screen to work just the way I have these overlaid, so I have to play with like a green box. That's why I have the box around myself. But yeah, I did get an additional cam for the keyboard, so that'll be fun. Add that in. I need to get the plug-in for Rocket League to get this one. I'm Rocket Leaguing up here, and you can see my controller. But like just what I press. I think that'll be the next thing. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, the new Fortnite update so far all I've seen is the cloud is no longer cloud. It is tsunami wall. And I was watching a couple streamers just like test things with it, like they're flying helicopters into it and boats into it. Newsflash, they explode. So and they don't do you any damage, but you do swim, so you can swim up and down. So like a lot of people are speculating like that's going to be like the next major update is because I think the season ends in a couple days. I don't think the Fortnite season ended. I think it was just a Fortnite. Maybe it wasn't necessarily an update so much as it was like an event. Although there was changes to the game, so it has to be an update. I don't know. They do stuff weird, but so yeah, so we've got that going on. So that should be fun. I'll probably, like I said, get in a little bit. If we actually had a second and a fifth, played 3 games last night, just kind of getting into it. I think we had a second and a fifth and some Fortnite, and then we went over to Rocket League. I don't know, did about 500 there. I was actually practicing with the squad. Probably should have been streaming it. And then moved over to Warzone, where I was just exhausted, so I couldn't function. So that was no good. No good, sir. Sirs. But yeah, it was good. It was good. We'll check it out. We'll check out the Fortnite update. Monk, if you want to get in, it's always time. I don't think that game's going anywhere. People keep writing stories and tweeting and Instagram. Oh, the death of Fortnite! The death of Fortnite! The death of Fortnite! Dude, that game is so popular. It's insane. And here's the thing. We were talking last night just about kind of hoping it would go somewhere else. No, it's fine. You just hate Epic. Um, it's actually I it's grown on me a ton. I like refused to play it for like its first year of, and then I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'm not really a third person shooter kind of guy, but it's solid. I got no problems, no qualms with it. The pros are just so good. Since I actually watched highlights of the World Cup, like the Fortnite World Cup when Booga won the whole thing for solos last year. That was a sweet like montage video they made. It's like interviewing his parents, his family, and like I don't know, it's pretty sweet. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere because yeah, I think so. Like just the nature of the game, because due to its like level of graphics and its typical, I would say its target demographic is younger kids. Like that's its target. It's not really targeted towards a bunch of 30-something millennials. It's definitely targeted towards Gen Zers. I think you have to compare it to a pickup game of football and a pro game. I disagree because the high level at which you can play Fortnite at makes that analogy I think fall apart because a pickup game of football doesn't really have high level people playing it. It's usually like people in a park. Whereas a pro game of football would be like the best of the best, right? So like those Fortnite guys, those top tier guys are insane. Like the skill level that they are at is so much higher than to call it a pickup game. But I think for kids, for youth, like getting into gaming, I think that's one of the easiest games for them to get in and convince their parents, because you have to think graphically, it's not gory. There's not like Call of Duty. There's blood. There's gore. It's realistic, right? There's by default, when you're close to an enemy, you can hear their comms. So like that was weird for me the first time I played it. Like when I'd kill somebody, I'd hear somebody like in my headset go like, "What the f? What the f?" And I'm like, "That's BS." And I'm like, "Who is saying this? Like what is happening?" Like it was super weird at first until I realized like, "Oh, I'm actually hearing other people's comms when I kill them." Um, which I think I've turned that off now. But like just by nature, you've got those games, COD and stuff like that, that kids aren't going to be able to get into. I think it was rated immature anyway, so parents aren't supposed to be letting their kids play it anyway. But like, yeah, for entry for kids, Minecraft is king. Well, the thing, Minecraft's been king. Minecraft's 10 years old now. Like, I know they just came out with the new Minecraft Dungeons, which is basically Diablo but Minecraft. It's basically Minecraft Diablo. Apparently that game's pretty good. I don't know, I haven't played it yet. I got a buddy of mine who's like begging me to download it and play it with him. But yeah, apparently they have Minecraft Diablo, which maybe will be that new entry for kids. Um, we'll see. But I think right now, due to Minecraft being older, I think Fortnite is the new entry. I mean, do you know how many know how many 6-year-olds play Fortnite? It's insane. Like they're 6. Like so that's going to be their game. Like where they can play it for 10 years. 10+ years, depending on how much they do as far as Fortnite, and they plan on making like a Fortnite community, not even like a game. With like that's why they've had like Marshmallow concert and the Travis Scott concert, and then weaving in the storylines and the events and different things like that. So like when you can go to live concerts, see I logged on to make sure I got to see the Star Wars trailer premiere because they premiered in Fortnite, and it was actually really cool. Like it was a really cool event. So like Fortnite has something there that makes them different. So we'll see where they go with that and what they can take and run with that. But they've got something that they realize they need to continually innovate to make it stick around. But yeah, I thought about streaming it potentially. I got to get it first. I think it's like $30. I think the Minecraft Diablo. What is it called? It's called Minecraft Dungeons. That's what it's called. Minecraft Dungeons, but it's not free. That's the other thing too. So like, if you're talking about like if a 6-year-old's begging 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old, whatever, is begging mom and dad to let them play a game, a free game is clearly going to be the easiest option. So with Fortnite being free from the get-go, and then like, cause like, when I was growing up, it was $60 for a game. So like, you better find out you like a game. And because if you bought one that you didn't like, if you bought Superman for the 64, if you bought what's the insanely tough game on like the Super Nintendo? Cannot think of it. Like if you bought one of those games where you're like you're barely gonna get into it and then you're just gonna hate it, like that's $60. Like that's you're done. Like you're done. Fortnite gives you that. Listen, it's free. Try it out. You don't like it, fine. Um, but the fact that it's free and anybody can log on, I think is going to make it such an easy entry into gaming. And it's synonymous right now. Like Fortnite, everyone knows Fortnite, the terms, the language. People, you've seen, everybody knows. Not everybody, but Ninja's huge, and he's huge through Fortnite. Um, he's going to be on the big movies and TV shows. He's been on talk shows. Booga's been on talk shows and things like that. I just think that game is more breaking, wall breaking than even Minecraft was. I mean, Minecraft was essentially what Legos, right? World building and Legos. I know there was kind of a storyline to it, but there's no entry point for like millennials and Gen Xers to jump in Minecraft. That's the difference there. So like myself being a millennial, like I had like, oh, Minecraft's for kids. I have no reason to jump in, right? Same thing for the Gen Xers, right? Like, oh, Minecraft's for kids. I don't need to jump in that. I know some of them did. It's like, oh, I got to see what this is all about. And curiosity, there's nothing wrong with that. But But for kids, like to be able to jump in, hey, it's a free game. You can launch in whether you're 10 years old, 20 years old, 30-year-olds. Like it's still a third-person shooter. There's still a clear skill tier to kind of separate, and you can progress to and ways to get better. They've got all sorts of creative modes, which actually reminds me of like way back in StarCraft One when people come up with all these crazy mods, and you make like this whole new game built around the foundation of another game. That's actually how World of Warcraft got started. It's basically it was just a StarCraft mod, and they took it and turned it into a massive, massive game, successful game. But that's really how it started, which is them allowing people to modify and mod up StarCraft. So it's kind of the same thing. Am I thinking Dota? I'm thinking Dota, not StarCraft. Either way, it still started off as a mod of another game, like within a game, and it just kind of took off from there. So with the fact that Fortnite can do that with their creative and custom arenas and custom game modes and things like that. Oh, I'm backwards. Dota is the StarCraft mod. Okay, and then World of Warcraft. I thought World of Warcraft had some uh, StarCraft ties too, besides it just being literally the exact same company, Blizzard Activision. But who makes Dota? Dota, because Overwatch is Blizzard. What company is Dota 2 and Dota? Like who? What's that manufacturer? Like I should know this. Oh, Valve. Okay. Defense of the Ancients was a StarCraft map. Got ported to Warcraft 3 and got the name Dota. Then was big. Okay, but it's made by Valve though, so it's a different company that makes it. Either way, I think you get my point though. Like Fortnite's got that attribute to it that gives it even more staying power. Like yes, you can play the OG game, but like when you get burnt out, you can go create your own games. Evolve about the developer. Fair enough. So like you can go create your own game modes. You can push those out. People are constantly making their own. That's of course they are. Blizzard had an absolute gem and let it slip through their fingers. Blizzard got bought up by Activision, correct? Or was it the other way around? Who bought who? Did Blizzard buy Activision or did Activision buy Blizzard? Or they just merge? That happens. I don't know. But yeah, so like there's a chance Minecraft Dungeon kind of supplants that, but the issue is Minecraft Dungeon is not free. It's like $30. More of a merge with the size. Yeah, but I believe Minecraft Dungeons is not free. So the fact that it's not free is an issue. I don't know if it does it cross-platform. Minecraft does that cross? Let's see. I don't think it's cross-platform yet. Okay, so no, not yet. So like that's another thing too. So like Fortnite, that's another huge advantage Fortnite has is that it's full cross-platform, except for maybe Nintendo. I don't think they're on four of. Actually, I don't know. Can you play Fortnite on the Switch? Can you play Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch? Of course you can. Why would I not? Why would it not be? It's Fortnite. Of course it is. Do they cross-platform though? Like, can you play? If you're on the Nintendo Switch, can you play someone on PC? That would be my question. Because like, even if you're like, you can play Fortnite on your cell phone. So like the fact that um, you can play Fortnite on your cell phone, you can play on your Switch, your PC, your Xbox, your PS4. I know PlayStation was holding out, but that's not the case. But that was like a year ago, dude. They've been they got indoctrinated quite a while back. But yeah, I just think like you look at all those barriers that other games have that Fortnite does not, and I don't think they're going anywhere. And their numbers would say that they're not. You know, if I'm 6 to 16, I can get in at any point in time. I can play with any like if I walk into a room and I'm like, hey, does anybody want to game with me? The first thing that people are going to respond with is, oh, what do you play on? Oh, you PlayStation? Oh, PC Master Race. Oh, Xbox. Oh, I play on mobile. Oh, I'm a Switch guy. Like whatever. Like you end up with these like, it's really 5 factions now, right? Like PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and mobile. So you've got really like 5 Stadia. Sure, we'll throw Stadia in there now too. So like you've got 6 like legit ways for you to play, and you got 6 ways to play. So like I walk into a room like, hey, anybody want to game with me? I'll give you my gamer tag. There's 6 different factions of people in there that 5 of which can't play with me unless I'm playing one of the select games that's full cross platform, which Fortnite is. So now you've got another entry door in where I can be like, oh yeah, does anybody want to play Fortnite with me? And then now 100% of the room has the opportunity to play with me. Like if I start playing with viewers or something in Fortnite, literally everyone who views can play, not just an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever. So there's a huge advantage that it has. Not to mention it's already massive and it's a fun game. Like let's not kid ourselves. Let's not hate too much. Hold on, I'm gonna read chat here. Um, the analogy is more of eating only the free mints at a restaurant, though. Sure, you can eat mints till you're full of mints, and the mints are great, but paying for food will get you better results. See, that's where I disagree because it is a good game. Like it is a good game. Like there's no doubt about it. Like it's a good game. I've played. I'm not a huge, massive gamer, but I've played my fair share of AAA titles to know what's a crap game and what's a good game. It's a good game. Like it really is. Like even if it's not your style, like, oh, I don't like building, I just want to shoot. Okay, that's fine, but it is unique. There's not any other games that are really mainstream that are like it, right? Like it was unique. I'm sure there was probably some indie game that can claim like, oh, we could build beforehand and do stuff, but like this is the one that put it on the map. I mean, I don't know if any. I stay pretty attuned to the big games that come out and like games that everybody plays. Nobody's had a game like that where with like building were such a massive piece to the puzzle from a shooter standpoint. So um, it is a good game. It's not like saying, oh, you're only getting the free minutes. It's like it's like you're a better analogy. Be like, yeah, you're getting free steak. Actually, probably be better like beef. Is probably a better analogy because it's like, oh, you're getting free top choice beef. But the good news is it can be cooked a lot of different ways. Do you want it rare? Do you want it well done? Do you want it on a burger? Do you want it on a sandwich? Do you want it on meatballs? Do you want it as a meatloaf? Do you want it in a casserole? Like, because you can get your meat a whole lot of different ways in that game because of all the custom modes, and they constantly push updates. They listen to the crowd. I mean, I don't want to be like on a super like Fortnite's the greatest game ever, but they do a really good job. The fact they've been around and they're still growing massively says a lot to what they. Like I said, they have some super advantages that like other games don't. Like some, there's Call of Duty boys that are Call of Duty guys. That's what they're going to be. They're always going to be Call of Duty guys. They never branch out. And one can make the argument that those games are the same every time. I disagree. I've played my fair share of them. I liked Black Ops 1. Didn't care for Black Ops 2. Black Ops 3 sucked so bad I didn't even play Black Ops 4. Modern Warfare was good. Advanced Warfare was awful. Now I know they bounce around with studios, so it's kind of really hard to compare Call of Duty because they have so many different studios that make the game between Activision and Treyarch and whoever the third one was. I don't even know if they still do that. Especially with Warzone, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out now that Activision's got Warzone. And the crazy part to me about Warzone is that they spent 3 years developing Warzone, and it's still really buggy, in my opinion. Like I still have like they have server issues all the time, and like massive server issues, massive lagging issues, and it's like that shouldn't happen when one, you're Activision and you're massive, and two, you've had 3 years to prepare. Like, that really shouldn't happen. Just saying. Just saying. I expect more from Activision Blizzard, and I feel like I am allowed to expect more from them because I feel like they've delivered on many of their titles in the past. I mean, StarCraft 1 was good. I never got to play StarCraft 2, but WoW was obviously a huge, massive hit. Overwatch is still a massive game. Um, so why is that, Monk? Why are the big games having server issues? I don't understand. They make so much money. And I say big games. Fortnite doesn't have server issues. Fortnite's massive. They don't have server issues. Um, Rocket League is actually used to have some mild server issues, but really don't anymore. And actually, I think that stopped before Epic bought them. So I don't think we can be like, "Yay, Epic for fixing Rocket League server issues." I don't think that's the case there. I think they fixed their service issues before Epic took over Rocket League. Um, but even so Warzone Warzone is on season 4 now, and I believe it uses the same COD servers. I think they run them on the same servers as Modern Warfare. So maybe they didn't expect Warzone to blow up. But if you spent 3 years on it and saw the success of Fortnite, why would you not expect it to blow up? I just don't see. First of all, it's frustrating because if you got Fortnite issue or like Fortnite, oh my gosh, I can't even talk. If you have server issues, are you not going to like for me as a gamer, right? Like I'm a casual gamer, dude. So if I got server issues, I'm leaving your game. Like I have other free options at this point. Like how can you justify having maybe you're playing Valorant or Valorant or how do you say that new game? Now that it's everybody can get it. So maybe you're playing Valorant, maybe you're playing Warzone, which is free. Maybe you're playing another paid game, doesn't matter. But if you're having server issues and you know that you can always go back to a free game that doesn't have server issues, going back to Fortnite, like that just to me sounds like you're playing a dangerous game with a massive company with a lot of power, Epic Tencent. All the Tencent's involved in a lot of companies, but is what it is. I'm just saying. I feel like in 2020, for gaming companies to still be lacking in the server department, especially when you've got so much competition in servers right now. Like I understand, like 5, 10 years ago, like your server was made by Intel. It was made by Intel. That's who made your server. That's not the case anymore. Still, well, most people's servers are still Intel servers, but AMD is massively pushing hard to get in the server industry, and they're putting out really top quality servers at a cheaper price. So if people are trying to like, oh, we're only going to pay enough to have these servers, you can actually buy AMD servers for cheaper than Intel and have just as good, if not better, servers than you had before for less of a price, and which is driving down costs for Intel as well, or driving down revenue and things like that. But then there's also like for like mobile servers, like Broadcom, Qualcomm making Texas Instruments makes microprocessors that they can throw in the servers. So like you've got all these Micron, you got all these tech companies, chip manufacturers, and things like that are all competing with one another, all trying to get their piece of the pie, and yet which capitalism breeds competition, which brings down prices. Are they still? I guess you know what it is. I look at those game companies and I expect them to make quality when really they're just trying to cut costs. When they see the prices go down, they're just like, sweet, we'll just spend less and put more in our pockets. That's what's happening. I know, and I should know better than that. I'm a little disappointed in myself. That's me getting really excited the way things should be instead of the way things are. Because at the end of the day, it's about money. It's always about money. So even if they had budgeted $10,000, probably not even close, $10 million for servers, and all of a sudden for Intel servers, and then AMD's like, dude, we can give you better servers for 8 million. They'll go, okay, well, what can you give us for the same quality servers? 6 million? Okay, we'll go with that then. Like that, I'm sure that's exactly how the conversation goes, which is a little ridiculous. Um, EA in particular doesn't want those customers long term, right? I mean, they still operate on that business plan that we want to use you, wear you out, lose you, and get you again. Like it's kind of like I had the first time actually I ever realized like the phrase "they don't make them like they used to" is not an okay boomer phrase. Like it's a legit thing because think about it. Like let's just talk about like a refrigerator, for example. Oh, they don't make them like they used to, Shani. Well, you're right. They don't because they used to make them last 30 years. But the problem is when you sell a refrigerator to somebody that lasts 30 years, they maybe only buy 2 refrigerators from you in your life. Whereas if you sell them a refrigerator that dies in 6, 7 years, over that same lifetime, they're going to buy 10 refrigerators. 10's a whole lot more than 2. So like They intentionally want them to look at Apple. They brick their own iPhone, so you have to buy a new one. Like they realized they made a good product and they needed to brick it because they made it too good. Happens all the time. I was actually at a. I'm not gonna name the name of the company, but I was at a convention. We'll say an athletic convention. So there's all these booths everywhere: Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Under Armour, McDavid, Gatorade, Power. I mean, all these, and so those companies plus 300 more that you probably never even heard of. So like you've got all these companies, whatever, and I have ankle issues. So I was talking to a ankle brace company that I really really like, and I was bragging. I'm like, man, these new ankle braces that you guys came out with a couple years back are incredible. I used to have to get new ankle braces annually. These things at least last me 2 seasons. I can usually get 3 out of them now. And he goes, oh, well, that's not good for business. Don't tell me that. And I like kind of paused for a second. I was like, oh, snap. He's right. Like when I was buying their ankle braces annually, they were getting annual money from me. They made a better product that not only protected me well, felt more comfortable around my ankle, but and lasted longer. And all of a sudden, I wasn't buying them every year. I was buying them every 2 to 3 years. So therefore, giving them less money. So by them making a better product, that actually cost them revenue, which is, I mean, that's kind of business, right? Like they used to not all be about that. It used to be like, hey, let's make the best product known to man, and word will spread. And I think with this ankle company, they actually make phenomenal ankle braces. Um, so they're doing quite well, and word has gotten out that they do make superior ankle braces. And I'm not talking about active ankle because they do not make the best ankle braces out there. But yeah, it was just like it was very interesting to me that like, oh yeah, by them making a better product, I now buy less of their product. So they get less money from me. It's almost like companies want to make something that works really good until it doesn't. Like they don't want it to work kind of good. They don't want it to like taper off. They want it to exist in its perfection and then just combust and be like totally worthless. So you have to totally replace. Um, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know how that really affects the gaming world besides like with servers and things like that. But yeah, I mean they do want you to like especially like sports games. Sports games are the worst, right? Like, hey, every year we're gonna pretty much put out the same game. We're maybe gonna change a couple of mechanics because and really from a mechanic standpoint, they're probably looking at the professional let's look at FIFA for example. Madden. Maybe look at Madden. I'm a soccer guy, but let's look at Madden. So Madden has the it's basically the same game, right? Like maybe they add a few plays that were invented. Maybe they've realized at the pro level there's a certain mechanic that's overpowered, right? So they're not going to push update that fix that mechanic. They'll just update it in next year's game for several. I'll pay $60. They get to spend their Madden bucks or in FIFA, their FIFA points or your NBA 2K points or whatever, and you just reuse those in the game. And literally all they do is update rosters and maybe tweak some graphics, make some players look like more like the players they're supposed to look like. But other than that, you don't see radical changes. You see them just cranking out six. You're basically paying $60 a year for an annual subscription to your sports game. Is essentially what it's come down to. Which again, I'm not totally opposed to a subscription-based model because if you're a sports game guy, you are already paying $60 a year anyway. Whether you realize you were in a subscription or not, it's pretty much the same thing. So like, yeah, I mean, what's the difference of saying like, hey, it's FIFA. Hey, you want the new FIFA roster? $60 for the updated roster. Like, oh, by the way, you can't play in competitive anymore because we've changed the mechanics a little bit on the update. Or maybe you just update the mechanics and say rosters are $60. Do you make more money or less money that way? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. But looking back to Fortnite, that's why big companies keep thinking Fortnite will die since it's past its useful lifespan. Right, but they're not, and that's what I think companies need to be on the lookout for because Fortnite is not dying. They want to push all these articles that they are dying because if they are dying, that opens up the door for somebody else and the next guy to swoop in and take that market share. But they're not dying. They're I think they just hit. It was some massive number they hit like 3 weeks ago, as far as the number of people played and their active users is still through the roof. and it's still free. And they make all of their money from aesthetics, which is how I think it should be. I should not have any pay to win. I'm not going to play a pay to win. I play Rocket League. It's not pay to win. I play Fortnite. It's not pay to win. I play Warzone, which I don't think is pay to win. Although you can get some pretty sweet weapons by buying them in the shop. I was watching a streamer play, and I was like, "Ooh, what gun's he using?" It's a one that he bought in the store. I think it was just really just a custom MP5, which you can customize your own MP5. But so I don't know if I don't. I guess I don't know enough about Warzone to realize like kind of where we're at with that. But yes, I don't think Fortnite is past its useful lifespan. I think constantly keep innovating. They put together those events, concerts, shows. They're building like their own like second life almost, like a virtual world. Because imagine when you can go straight VR. I mean, I still think we're a bit far off from that, but imagine you can just like immerse yourself in the Fortnite world and hang out, have a barbecue, like see your friends, and do it all through the realm of Fortnite because of this world they've created. I mean, that's their plan. That's their grand scheme of things for Fortnite. They don't want it to die out and be a game. They want it to be a community where like literally it's like, oh hey, we don't feel like playing tonight. All right, we'll just log in. We'll meet at Risky Reels. We'll go to Salty Sands. We'll just sit on the beach, hang out, just chat, watch a movie. Like imagine you can pull up your Netflix and watch it right there in game, just in casual mode, like where you're all hanging out, talk to one another, watch a show together. Like that's kind of I think where they're trying to go. I don't even think that is where they're trying to go eventually. Maybe not necessarily in VR, but in the meantime, because I don't think they're ready for that yet. But that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to get after, which I think is a really cool idea. I really do. Now, maybe they're the ones that do it. Maybe Fortnite's around for 20 years, 50 years. I don't know. Or maybe there's another game that's going to do it, but that's going to happen at some point. At some point in time, you're going to see digital lounges basically that are tied in with gaming and things. Maybe it's not Fortnite. Maybe it's Epic, where you'll come into like an Epic thing, or maybe it's an Activision thing, or a Steam thing, or something. But you're going to have these lounges. The Discord thing, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's this whole thing of right now, like we've created these digital platforms. Maybe it's a Facebook thing, a Google thing, or an Apple thing. That's probably better analogy. Is like, hey, we can just hang out on Google. Now Google at least has Stadia going for it. Maybe it's a Microsoft thing. I don't know, but they're going to tie in gaming with hanging out and lounging because the whole gamers are antisocial. That's just not the case anymore. Definitely not the case anymore. Sorry, I'm gonna get back to chat here. Gaming companies like to make the issue and then sell the solution on that same logic. Yes, they do. It's all about money, man. It's all about if they're publicly traded, it is all about money. And I think all those major companies are publicly traded right now. I think the gaming world has actually done pretty well in the stock market as well. I haven't checked. Monk, you have to clue me in. We were talking about something you posted in the chat. Said Assassin's Creed Odyssey did that. EXP and money had the option to permanently double them. So what are we talking about there? Because I haven't played Assassin's Creed Beyond. I never finished Unity, which I think I maybe should. And I bought another one. Syndicate. It was on. Actually, I didn't buy it. It's on the Epic Store. Where's my Epic Store? Epic Store. Library. Let's see what we got. I know I have one. Syndicate. That's what I thought. So yeah, so I have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I've also got like GTA 5, a couple Lego Batman games, Civ 6 I still gotta play. Should I have 3 Lego Batman games? Holy cow. Overcooked, which is a great game. That's what I should be streaming. That should be a good hangout game. Overcooked is hilarious. Is it cross platform? Is it online multiplayer or is it just local? I don't know. Overcooked's good. I like Overcooked. Simple, fun, almost like a mobile game. But yeah, I like it. That's a good game. Anyway, right. So the core gameplay that you do quests, get levels, weapon upgrades. Okay, fair enough. So typical standard Assassin's Creed game, right? Do some quests, make myself better, bigger, faster, stronger, learn some tricks, some trades, some maybe get a weapon upgrade, does more damage, it's better to parry, whatever. That's at least that's how the old Assassin's Creed games were. Okay, so how do I feel about that then? So it's not necessarily pay to win. It's not like a multiplayer competitive game either. You just you're basically paying $10 to get done playing your game faster, essentially. Which I'm not sure I have like a fundamental issue with that. I'm being honest. I mean, it's terrible logic. Like if you're a gamer and you enjoy playing the game, wouldn't you want to enjoy playing the game as long as you can? So why would I thou pay money to finish the game quicker? If you really want the storyline, you can probably just go on the internet and get the entire storyline. So what do we really having an issue there? Yeah, because I agree, Monk. That's some crazy logic. I'm going to pay you $10 to not play. It's like golf. The better you are at golf, the less golf you play. Think about that. Mind blown, right? Like golf, your score is measured by how many strokes it took you to hit the ball in the hole 18 times. And the better you are at golf, the less golf you're playing, right? Because if you say I'm golfing because I'm swinging, right? Like it takes me about 100 times. I swing the club about 100 times to get through 18 holes. The pros will do it in about 65 times. So they play less golf than me. They only swing 65 times. I swing 100. I play more golf than them. But the better I would get at golf, the less golf I would play. Hmm. Not less as far as like quantity of times I would go to the course, but quantity of swings, assuming that's how you're quantifying playing. Some people would say, "Oh, if you're just out there on the course, that's all that really matters. You're out there playing." Bro, when you're drinking a beer, hitting on the cart girl who's way underage for you, and uh, smoking a cigar, you're not playing golf. You're hanging out outside. That's what you're doing, and probably being a creep. But when it comes to golf, when you're golfing, yeah, the better you are at golf, the less golf you play from that standpoint. So yeah, so I'm gonna give my game person more money so I can play the game less. Logic is tough for some people, for a lot of people. Let's be honest. It is what it is. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna cut stream, but we will be back to the routine. Hopefully, we get some of the usuals back in here manana. So I'm going to cut. I'll probably do a gaming stream tonight, just because I'm back. I gotta let everybody know I'm back. Videos up. Got the keyboard cam rolling for the Fortnite and the Warzone here. Got the new M95 with the M65. It's the speed keys, so it's quicker actuation. I probably need to figure out something back behind me here. Um, I don't know how I'm gonna accomplish that though. I need to get creative. So, if you got any ideas, let me know. Besides this ugly green screen, I almost need like an image behind myself. I don't know. I got this logo kind of floating here, which I kind of like now, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna cut stream, but I'll see you guys later. Young Money out.